Number 15 brings us to philanthropy, an adjective. Based on the roots. P-lane. Greek word meaning to love. Plus anthropos. Greek word for mankind. Philanthropy means love of mankind. Philanthropy refers to activities undertaken to improve human welfare, including support extended to social causes such as nutrition, education, health, public safety, animal and human rights. Numerous religious and social service organizations, including national and UN-based institutions, are engaged in philanthropic activities throughout the world. The corporate sector is generally involved in charitable giving to worthy causes under corporate social responsibility (CSR) to improve their standing among customers and the general population. Example: numerous philanthropic organizations are engaged in combating hunger and malnutrition in developing countries. Similar: humanitarian, benefaction, charitable, benevolent, almsgiving, altruism. Philanthropic organizations support vaccination programs by funding outreach and delivery in underserved areas. Number 16. Misanthropy, an adjective. The roots are misane. Greek word for hatred, plus anthropos. Greek word for mankind. The meaning is hatred or distrust of humanity. General hatred, dislike, distrust, or contemptuous attitude towards mankind, with a strong emphasis on highlighting human failings and weaknesses. Misanthropy is characterized by a negative opinion of human nature and human behavior, focusing on people's lack of intellect, morals, or artistic sensibilities. This is usually a deeply held view which cannot be easily changed. A person who holds such views is called a misanthrope or misanthropist. Example: misanthropists tend to be openly intolerant and contemptuous of human faults and failings. Similar: antipathy, animosity, antagonism, hostility, enmity. Now, let's get down to section 2. It's about people. The first root in this section is populus. Latin word which means people, nation, citizens. It refers to a group of individuals who share a common culture, language, or history, and who are united by a sense of shared identity and purpose. In ancient Rome, the populus referred specifically to the common Roman people, as opposed to the ruling class or the military elite. Words such as population, popular, populism are derived from this root. Word number 17, populism. A noun, derived from populus. Latin word for people. Plus, ismo. Greek word for practice, system. Thus, populism means appealing to people's baser instincts. Political approach, policy or movement that champions or appeals to ordinary people, in contrast to the elites such as economic, cultural and media institutions. This doctrine usually opposes big business and financial interests, as well as the liberal establishment. Populism is often identified with politicians who appeal to voters in a highly emotional manner, making promises which are contrary to sound economic principles and hard to deliver. Populism often appeals to the baser instincts of the common man by simplifying complex issues and stirring emotion through fear, resentment, or nationalism. The next root is demos. Greek word for people. The Greek word demos refers to the people or the populace. In ancient Greece, especially in the context of Athenian democracy, demos was used to describe the collective body of citizens who had the right to participate in the political process, including voting and making decisions about governance. Demos is the root of democracy, demagogue, etc., which will be dealt with in future lessons. Number 18, demographics. It is a noun. Derived from demos. Greek word for people, plus, graphein. In Greek, it means to write, which gives the meaning writing about people, population. the statistical study of populations, especially in terms of births, deaths, gender, income, age, incidence of disease, etc. It can also cover societies and groups, based on criteria such as education, socio-economic status, nationality, religion, and ethnicity. Understanding the size, structure, and growth of these factors is essential for forecasting future trends, in addition to providing the required data for government and business planning. Example: market researchers engage in demographic segmentation to find the most promising customer groups for products and services. Epidemic, pandemic, and endemic. The World Health Organization, WHO, draws a clear distinction between epidemic, pandemic, and endemic, based on the relative rate of transmission of a given disease among the population. Thus, cancer cannot be considered as any one of the above, though it is responsible for millions of deaths worldwide. Number 19. Epidemic. An adjective. Epi is the Greek word for upon, above. Plus, demos. Greek for people. This word means disease that is upon the people. An epidemic is the rapid spread of an infectious disease in a community within a short period of time. It may be restricted within a certain area or spread to many parts of a country. A disease is considered an epidemic only when the level of infection, example, patients per 100,000 people, and a certain rate of transmission are exceeded within a given period. The disease should also be relatively rare. Example: health authorities work hard to prevent the spread of epidemics beyond the areas where they are first identified. Word number 20, pandemic. An adjective. Combines pan, the Greek word for all, plus demos, Greek word for people. This refers to a disease affecting all the people. An epidemic will progress into a pandemic when it crosses national borders and spreads out of control. To be classified as a pandemic, a disease should be prevalent in multiple continents or worldwide and affect a substantial number of individuals. It should also be highly contagious, transmissible. The most famous pandemic in history is the Great Plague, which killed 75 to 200 million people in 14th century Europe. Example: social distancing and wearing of face masks were mandatory during the COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in millions of deaths worldwide. Number 21. Endemic. Adjective. En is the Greek word for in, within. Plus, demos. The Greek word for people. This means within the people. This refers to a disease, species of plants, animals, or people that are native and restricted to a certain area. A disease can be considered as endemic when it is consistently present, but limited to a particular area. The prevalence and rate of infection are also fairly predictable. For instance, though malaria has been eradicated from many parts of the world, it is still endemic in certain regions.